Okay, early morning hustle, still doing this. This is the third video, and we are looking at different outputs. This one's actually because we're doing the copy and paste game, and I'm going to explain to you what the code is doing. And we might do something a little shifty, a little different at the end, but I think that's huge that you build this, not confidence. Well, there's confidence in at least awareness that this exists. Awareness. That's the key word here. Awareness that this exists, and you have the ability to customize it accordingly. And that's where the little shiftiness that we're going to do towards the end. Let's see how this goes. And go from there. So with that being said, today's main video is for us to talk about different outputs that we can create. We already saw a couple of them before in terms of different plots. And this one is no different, but I'm emphasizing what other things that we can actually display within the main panel. So here I'm just going to create an app. So Penguin. If we can type, that's not what I want. I want it Penguin underscore app. Okay, create a new file called app.r, and I'm gonna paste the UI. Okay, so fluid page from the very first video, the actual name of the Shiny app, the layout. Okay. Again, the layout, everything should be within the layout. Okay, boom. And then within the layout, we have a sidebar. We have the sidebar layout, sidebar panel within the sidebar layout, and the sidebar has a slider. No, select whether depending on the penguin species. Okay. So in the information, whatever the user selects is going to be saved within species underscore select. And the default is Adelie. Okay. And then we have the following outputs, the text, summary of the information. Okay. The penguin plot that was created, and then finally the penguin table. So this is nothing too special. The second app is more special. But then let's see the actual server side and talk a little bit more about the server. The code is a little bit long, but it's not too crazy. Copy and then paste. Here we have the reactive element. Whatever the user selects, we now have access to that information, to that particular penguin species. Okay. And so that's going to then be saved within filter data. That filter data is going to then be used here in terms of creating a plot as well as displaying it as a table. So this is nothing too fancy here. So let's go ahead and just run this with echo. And now we got the information. What's nice about DT, and I thought we did see DT in the other example, maybe we didn't. We can actually filter within DT. So if I say just Bisco, I'm only going to see the Bisco island. If I erase this, I get all the islands, which is kind of cool. So you can actually filter within the actual table. We can display, let's say we display 50. I don't know how many penguins there are in this data set. 152. So again, if I just say, let me spell this right, TORGERSEN. Okay. I only get the 52 that exists. So that's, again, it's kind of cool. So that is that particular app. The second thing, or at least the last app that we're going to create, is called an interactive world map. Interactive. We're going to call this the world app. Okay. Again, we're going to have a new file called app.r. Okay. And should I do everything all at once? Yeah, let's do it. What you're gonna need to make sure you do is, for this particular application, you're gonna have to stop this, of course, stop this app, install this package called Leaflet, and that allows you to essentially install a package that deals with geographical locations. So here we have the coordinates for Slough, New York, London, and Tokyo. And I'm going to have the user be able to select between the different cities. Okay, these are the different choices. Okay. And then that information is going to then be stored here in this new function. Okay. To only select that city's data frame. And this city's data frame, the city's data frame is then stored into this particular city. And this is an interesting way of filtering. You can filter this way as well. We could have used the filter function, but that's neither here nor there. So based on the selected city, that selected city's longitudinal elements is going to be saved here. It's just set view. And this, you can go into this on your own, but this is actually going to provide the plot of the actual city within this, display the map of the actual city. So let's go ahead and do this. So run source file with echo, and I'm actually going to pop this out to the web browser. Okay, this is San Luis Obispo, and you can just see all around it based off of the coordinates. Zoom in. You can overlay data. That's not this class. Where am I? Is this up to date, you think? Okay, so you can do a lot of zooming. You can select different cities. London, that's in England, by the way. I was there earlier this year. It's cool. Okay. And then New York, and so on and so forth. What I wanted to do is just show you how simple this is. Say, okay, provide me the coordinates. All you got to do is add, provide the coordinates for LA. Let me do google.com, provide coordinates for LA. Okay, can it do that? Okay, so it's 34.05 copy. Was that long? That was lat. Okay. And then the longitude, again, I haven't done this. Hopefully this works. 118.25, 118.25. Let's call it LA. In quotes, okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to do that. Just stop this, and then run it again. Oh, error, good job. Error, what did I do wrong? I had to specify the zoom level. Okay. So you have slow. Let's add LA. That is not correct. That is not correct. But where is that? Okay. It has the same latitude, but you get the gist. You get the gist. Okay, I went ahead and paused it and said, I'm gonna get it right. I just made it negative, the longitudinal negative, and then it worked. Okay, so what's nice about this is that at least you see how easy it is for you to create the map, and then to overlay data is not that crazy of an ask or not that crazy of a task. So it's nice for you to at least see that this is possible. What else can I do with this information? Thank you.